What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today for another BFR. First one, official one of the season that's not a preseason game, a 4 o'clock game, the season opener on October 7th. And the Hawks kept with it. I'll give them credit, they did keep with it. Although Florida didn't have Kachuk, they didn't have Barkov, and they didn't have Noshek. Score ends up being 3-2 Florida. The Hawks dropped to their first loss of the season, 0-1-0. Shots were 37-20 Florida. Hits were 29-27 Florida. Faceoffs 44-26 Florida. Power plays, Chicago 0-3, Florida 1-2. Those power plays were not good either. Knight was the star of the show. He saves 34-37 in his return to Florida. Bobrovsky saves 18 out of 20. The Hawks' opening lineup consisted of the first line, Donato, Bedard, Burakovsky. The second line they kept together, which I was very happy about from the preseason, Teravainen, Nazar, Bertuzzi, and we saw how good they were in this game. Third line was Doc, Dickinson, Mikheyev, although Mikheyev and Donato kind of switched spots in the game. And then fourth line, Foligno, Green, and Lafferty. The reason Ryan Green was in the lineup is because Slager has an injury that has kept him out of the lineup, so he did not start. And also Reichel, they didn't give that he was healthy scratched. So they gave Green the opening spot. He finished the season with the Hawks last season in the last 2 games, so good for him to get some more NHL experience. On the first D pair, you have Grzelcyk and Rinzel. Grzelcyk taking the place of Vlasic, who is out with an injury. So I thought Grzelcyk played all right. He signed a 1-year, $1 million deal, so he's added to the lineup, kind of taking the place of TJ Brody a bit with a bit more offensive upside. So he looked all right in the lineup. I didn't really have any issues with his game. Rinzel on that, you could tell Rinzel was inexperienced, although there's potential there. You were able to see it when you were watching. Kaiser and Levshunov. Kaiser was the best defenseman on the ice that last night, and it was by a mile. Levshunov had a game to forget, especially that first period was one of the worst first periods of hockey I've ever seen for a player ever. It's just the first game of the season, though. He's got to get back into it. He didn't start the season in Chicago last year. He'll get more comfortable as he gets into it. Third pairing was Del Mastro and Murphy, and again, that was because they have Crevier scratched and Vlasic was out, so Del Mastro started and Grzelcyk was in for Vlasic, and so that's some lineup decisions there. The goaltenders, of course, are Knight and Soderblom. Other guys on IR this year who are technically on the Hawks roster, although they're not playing, Brossoit and Weber are on LTIR. For Weber, his career has been over for 5 years, and Brossoit has not played a game in over a year. And then you have Joey Anderson, who sustained an injury at some point. We'll see if he gets demoted to Rockford once he recovers off IR, or if he will even be with the Hawks to start the season maybe. It's not a far-fetched possibility. Looking at the first period, Hawks are blocking shots early. Rinzel is a bad giveaway that Grzelcyk luckily covers for him. Bedard hits the post on the first shot the Hawks get. Doesn't count as a shot, but it was a post, so that kind of opens it up early. 13:02, it's a Chicago penalty to Levshunov for slashing, which is killed. And that was just, I had pure fear on that power play. Florida was just coming, and Knight's just sitting there, saving everything that comes at him, and it was driving me nuts. But 9:57, the Hawks catch a break. It's a beautiful poke by Bertuzzi that gets the puck up to Nazar, who gets a breakaway, and he scores the first goal of the season. From Bertuzzi and Teravainen, Frank Nazar opens the scoring for the NHL season. At that point, the Hawks were barely getting out of their own zone, so that was just, it was great to see, but you knew it wasn't going to last long. And we ended up being exactly right. 8:54, it's a Florida rebound goal to A.J. Greer, his first of the season from Gadjevich and Forsling to make it 1-1. Verhaeghe has a 2-on-1 with Bennett, and Knight absolutely robs him. Just what a save. 7:34, Chicago penalty to Levshunov for tripping, so that's his second penalty of the game. He's had multiple giveaways, and I'm screaming at the TV at this point saying, Levshunov, what the hell are you doing? 5:52, Florida scores on that power play, and it's Carter Verhaeghe with his first of the season from Samoskevich to make it 2-1. Samoskevich fitting right into the Panthers lineup. He was a guy to watch this year with Barkov and Kachuk out, and he's fit right in. Let's see, Levshunov. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the point where I said Levshunov is not having a great start to the game. I wrote really small. I was trying to make a lot of notes this game. First game of the season, after all. Lundell hits the post. Luosterainen is denied on basically a 1-2 play. 3-10, Chicago and Florida penalties to Foligno and Greer for fighting as they drop the gloves. So Greer has a goal. He has a fight. And all you were looking for is an assist. And then I wrote down at this point, what the hell are you doing, Levshunov? Because he was just out of everything. Second period, Mikheyev has a break that's saved. The puck gets cleared, but the Hawks come right back into the zone. Bertuzzi makes a great play along the boards, gets it to Nazar. Nazar's with Teravainen on a 2-on-1. And on that 2-on-1, Teravainen scores. First of the season from Nazar and Bertuzzi to make it 2-2. So if you can do the math, Nazar, Bertuzzi, and Teravainen all on pace for 164 points this season. They got it. No question. 18:48, it's a Florida penalty to Marchand for holding the 6, so 3 seconds off the faceoff. And that was really weird. I'm not sure what Marchand was doing, but that penalty is killed off. Cunnin is robbed shorthanded, and that was a fantastic save by Knight, again, keeping him in the game. Reinhart takes a puck to the face, and there was a little blood, so he came off. And Florida, you could tell, was getting beat up this game. I think 3 or 4 players ended up having the whistle blown or exited the game temporarily. No one actually left the game, but just random freak accidents on the ice. When Rodriguez was down after a block shot on the inside of the knee where there's really not much padding, he was down, needed assistance off the ice, went to the locker room, ended up coming back. Let's see here. Verhaeghe is denied. Greer then goes down off the puck was out in front. It looked like Levshunov almost speared him. But just a little bit of an accident there. Levshunov didn't mean to spear him. He wasn't even looking at him. He was kind of just backing up, and his stick was close there. His knee ended up getting under his leg and spread his leg up. I'm trying not to pull something. It might have been the worst of what happened. Moving on. At 11:43, it's a Florida penalty to Jones for slashing, which is killed. Gadjevich has a big hit on Levshunov. Knight had a tribute video at some point because all of a sudden the crowd started cheering for Knight, so I'm not sure if that's what it was. He was drafted in the first round there, spent some years there, won a Stanley Cup there, so I don't blame them. Bedard is robbed, Verhaeghe is denied, Doc is then robbed, and then Bobby chants were starting for Bobrovsky, of course. Third period, but Bennett is stopped. Lundell then takes a puck to the face. So you had Reinhart, you had Rodriguez, you had Greer, and now you have Lundell all temporarily having to leave the game due to injury. Verhaeghe hits the post. Cunnin is denied. Marchand is stopped. Reinhart's denied. And 14:04, Florida penalty to Cunnin for high sticking, which is killed. 10:20 though, it's a fluke goal, and it was just that was the Hawks' luck. 10:20, it's a rebound out of the air by Jesper Boqvist. Samoskevich just threw it to the other side of the net. Puck was in the air. Boqvist just perfectly is just right there waiting. It's like they pre-planned the play. And just it bounces right into the net. And that ends up being the game winner too from Samoskevich and Rodriguez. Samoskevich had a good game tonight with 2 assists as well. So it's a 3-2 lead for Florida. The Hawks couldn't get the puck out of their zone pretty much the rest of the game. We're screaming at the TV, my family, like, what are you doing? They had a minute and a half to go. They couldn't get it out. Like, Florida's forecheck, their pressure was so good. They could not get the puck out of the zone. Knight's trying to get to the bench, and he can't. He literally could not leave. Hawks can't get the puck out of their zone. 1:08, Chicago calls a timeout. A bit more stuck in the zone when Knight finally leaves the net around 59 seconds. They had a couple chances late, but they cannot solve Bobrovsky late in the game. And the Florida Panthers take this one 3-2. Overall, they stuck with Florida. Should they have? No. Knight was the reason they were in this game. I'll give credit to Grzelcyk and Kaiser. They looked like the best defensemen out there yesterday. And then Teravainen, Nazar, and Bertuzzi were really the only line that really stood out. They were making plays happen when they were on the ice. So that's a good line to start with. Bedard's line, though, it was rough. Seeing Bedard, Burakovsky, and Donato, and then Mikheyev ends up being moved up to the first line and Donato to the third. It was just not working. So we'll see what happens there. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. How do you think this season is going to go now with Game 1 in the books? And I shall see you all in the next one. Have a good one.